Welcome everybody to the exhibition A Jewelled Palate by John Maitland. John's been with us for many years now and is one of our most popular artists, and many of my clients just don't buy one, they buy more than one, and that's a compliment to you, and I think the same thing's happening tonight as well. Yeah, they just don't buy one, they buy a few more, and it's good to see. But the interesting part about this is you've got all these moons, and this week has been a super moon and a blue moon.
All coincident.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. It was as much a surprise to me when I was actually sitting in the car, looking at the telephone and the news, and Jesus, that's just what I've been paying. Yeah.
Oh well, the moon sent everybody crazy this week, including me.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't seem to have that effect on me, just my wife, just on my wife. So, yeah.
Oh, Dolores, where is she? Oh,
Dolores.
Did you know that?
Anyway,
she heard you.
We were actually fortunate enough to see it last night, because on the Gold Coast, I don't know if it was the same in Brisbane, but it was a perfect day, and as soon as it was moonrise, the clouds came up and it started raining.
Oh.
Yeah. So last night, we were up the top of the hill on the Gold Coast, actually parting the clouds.
Yes.
About 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And just seeing the whole thing, it was fantastic.
Oh.
Golden moon.
Well, I know that, you know, where I created at the coast, the moon, it just sits on the water, and it it's just beautiful. Yeah.
Well, with regards to moons, as you know, like many years back when I first started exhibiting in Brisbane, one of the first paintings I ever did was Child in the Moon. And I believe, because it was Galloway that told me, the advert was in one of the magazines, and the lady's under the hairdressing thing, getting the hair dried and everything, and she just looks at the thing, she goes, "My God, I have to have the painting," phones up the gallery, "I want that painting now." So that was it, under the hairdresser. It happens
at weird times. We had somebody drive past one day and they did a quick U-ey around. They said, "I want to buy that painting that's in the window." I'm surprised at how many people actually comment on our window. We do change it every week, so it's all nice and fresh. So there's a couple of moons in the window, so don't forget to see those. John, tell us a little bit about... you wrote a piece for us about this exhibition. Do you want to tell our clients tonight all about what set you off and your trip to Rockhampton and all of that?
Yeah, well, it was a long time since I'd been up north. And interestingly enough, the whole thing started, I'm talking about the inspiration for the way I paint now, on the Hercules aircraft when I was heading up when I worked for Nestle. And I remember flying up had the things in my ears, and the guy came, one of the staff, and said, or one of the Air Force guys, "Would you like to come up and have a look through the cockpit?" And I was standing in the cockpit, and it was truly like standing on the gates of heaven with everything opening up in front of you, and looking down at the Burdekin Dam, you know, going up that way, azure blue, and cutting through the landscape. And not only that was only part of the travel. I was on the small little, twin-engine Cessnas, and doing the milk runs. So I was in and out of all the little, towns, and the inspiration was fantastic. Plus the beautiful people, the women and that I've seen. So that kind of started me up all the way back then. And just a couple of months back, when I went back up north, it was the same magic happening, just the beautiful balmy air, the relaxed people, beautiful people.
So what you experienced the first time was still there when you went back?
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's wonderful, isn't it?
And nothing looks more Queenslander or more at home in Queensland than seeing the guys, the big dudes, with the big, big 10-gallon hats or whatever they're called.
Yep, with dust all over them.
Brilliant. So, but why was I up there? The reason was that lady in the corner received a very distinctive award, but I don't want to tell you what that is because that would take all night.
And congratulations again, Dolores. That's quite a compliment. And as you said thank you, and that was all you could do. So, Dolores, yes, that's it on that one.
Well, I'd like to thank you too, Margaret, for inviting me back again. For
You're very welcome.
Exhibition.
You can come anytime you like. We haven't finished. We haven't finished yet.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Carry
so
on.
keep going. No, you're telling us the story about this exhibition and how you got inspired and what made you do the umbrellas and, you know.
Yeah. Once again, it all comes back to family, really, because as you're probably aware, a lot of the inspiration comes from me, 14 grandchildren now and 5 children, when they're running around the gardens, tugging at each other's hair. And if you look at one, of a few actually, you'll see the title, the Elusive Butterfly series. And that was a new granddaughter born. And she was born in New Zealand, first Kiwi in her family. And we're down to get across, and every time we made a booking on the flight, something else would happen, not least Cyclone Gabrielle. So I did a series based on it, because every time we tried to get away, we couldn't. And that was, she is the elusive butterfly, or the metaphor was used as the metaphor.
That's a nice story.
For the series, the elusive butterfly. And the rest, Jewels from the Palette, I never consider a work finished until I'm happy with it. And I always know when it's finished, but what I always have trouble with is a title. Hence, I thought, I'm looking at the palette and I thought, Jesus, there's everything I need there. So the Jewels of the Palette, and you'll see them all the way through. The one up here, the umbrellaed one,
yeah.
I'd hurt my shoulder a while back. The grandchildren were visiting, so I designated responsibility for priming the canvas to my granddaughters. They had a ball. They enjoyed it. I said they could use whatever colours they liked. And then the next thing, there was water flying all around the garden. They're all hosing each other. They pulled out an umbrella, run round. That was the inspiration for the painting. So,
oh, there they are. That's a lovely story too.
So,
I know you put meaning into all your paintings.
Sorry?
I know you put meaning into all your paintings. Yeah. And
but I always, when I put meaning into it, I mean, I'm not satisfied until I actually can feel the soul of the idea coming through, because I never just want people taking home a painting. I want them taking home a piece of art that means something that's special, that they can live with in 10 years. In fact, I was just speaking about that earlier on. 20 years down the track, they'll still look at that painting and be able to see something they've never seen before. Yeah. Something
and that's very true, Yeah. When we first bought the gallery, my first painting I bought was a flower painting. Yeah. It's still in my bedroom on my wall, and I see something different in it every day. And I mean, we say to everyone, if you love it, it's meant to be.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It'll talk to you.
It is. And people ask me, what's the story behind the painting? And I'll often tell them what the story is, but the reality is, it's what the viewer sees that's important. If I'm not here, it's what the viewer sees, and that's everything. So anyway, Margaret, I think that.
Well, that's it. Okay.
I think that will make
You've run out of words. Okay.
So no, I've never run out of words, but hopefully everybody will enjoy it, and thank you for coming. Yeah.
Thank you, John. Right. Thank you very much. We're quite honoured to have you here.
Thank you.
Any time at all. Anytime at all.
Well,
thank you, everyone, for coming tonight too, and I'd like to thank my team, Kim, Freya, and Samara. They always hide around the corner, but yes. So without them, this wouldn't have happened. So
absolutely.
But thank you, and it's been
done a beautiful job.
Yeah. I have to say that Freya did the curating of this one. So I've got some pretty talented people here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
she'll take that. Oh, there you go. Did you tape it?
Enjoy, and if anyone has actually purchased one, because I've been told 3 times tonight that they loved one of the works that I purchased, just ask me or Margaret, or any of the girls, and I'll do a commission. No issues at all.
Okay, there you go. And also, if you want to buy one tonight, John will have a photograph taken with John as well. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. I just might say, just before I just finish, that when an artist has an exhibition, they always put their best work out, and it's always the best time, if you particularly like that artist, to buy something from that particular show, because that's when it's they put your best foot forward, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much. Enjoy it all. Enjoy our hospitality, and chat to John. And if you've got any questions, you know what he looks like
absolutely.
now.
Any questions, come and ask me about anything.
There you go. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.